Can you put business expenses on a personal credit card? So we're going to talk about this. This is actually a series of videos I'm going to call I Love the IRS. There are rules around it. Technically, the answer is yes, but you can get in a lot of trouble. So you better stay to the end to make sure you're not getting any trouble if you decide to do this interesting behavior. Let's talk about three things. Number one, the reasons you shouldn't do it, right? And the kind of trouble you could get in. But I'm going to give you some workarounds for those of you that, especially that are beginners in business. Number two is legally commingling. So then how do you uncommingle, which a lot of you probably need to stay around just for that because you've been commingling for years, especially as a sole proprietor. And then number three, how does entities and tax strategies actually help you clean this all up? If you actually play the total letter of the law, this gets easy. If you try to do weird workarounds, this is where you get in trouble and you're not doing it cleanly. So let's begin. So in short, you should not use your business and your personal and ever commingle them at all. So let me just give you some like kind of basic tips, right? So if you had a credit card in this hand and you had a credit card in this hand, I want you thinking, like very consciously thinking over the next month, every time you go to the store, you go to a coffee shop, you buy a flight, you go out to get anything, is it a personal deduction? Or is it an expense that's personal, or is it business? And get really, really clear about using which credit card, not debit cards. Put your debit cards away. That's money straight out of your bank account. The reason why credit cards actually give you a little liability protection is if you actually lost your cards, lost your wallet, and somebody happened to guess at the right PIN on your debit card, that money's taken out. The bank does not recover it. They don't fight for you. They don't give you back a new card, and all of a sudden the money's back in your account. Credit cards do. They'll actually put the money back in your account until they actually do an investigation. Now, if you're totally at fault, the money's not coming back. But a lot of them, when it's very obvious that you had a card stolen, they'll actually replace the money and the card within 24, 48 hours and you're back up and moving. More importantly, it's a great bookkeeping strategy. And there's just a conscious training behaviorally that I want around how you're spending. Most of you, I guarantee you are spending too much out of your personal bank account. The only reason you should be spending out of your personal bank account is if you're an employee. And then you say, well, if I'm an employee, then what can't I write off as long as you have a business on the side? So I'm an employee of one of my companies, right? And there's about 8 to 10 things that I cannot write off that I use my personal card for, and I just put it on auto pays. Don't even be bothered with it. But by using personal cards, you get points, you get rewards. I'm saying proper credit cards, not small bank trinket cards or a lot of these new online banks. They're for really, 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 like I'm going to call it immature financially, baby beginners. I wouldn't even let my 18-year-old child, so I have a 16 and a 23. I wouldn't let either of them do some of those online banks because they're not really online banks. They're depositories that really are controlling your spending, and they want to really work on your credit, give you credit cards, and they have fees attached to all that kind of spending. So what if you do, right? And what if you've been doing that? That's been your behavior. I know hair salon owners, I know restaurant owners, I know cafe owners where they could be being paid cash and they just use their personal credit card. So if you use your personal credit card, legally, you don't get a lot of deductions. Even if you're a sole proprietor, you're only getting about 20 or 30. If your company makes the money and it's a company deduction, you make 81,000 pages of tax code, it increases your corporate credit and your corporate fundability. So paying bills properly is essential so you're not entering the commingling space of personal, business, and some of my clients have 5, 6, 10 companies. So every company has a different spending, what I call spending forecast. So when you really look at, say you have 4 companies in you, where you really want to be thinking is I have 5 credit cards, I have my personal credit card and 4 others. Now, again, if you've been using your personal, you actually need to write an expense report to the company and have the company pay it back, right? So the company will pay you back because you're writing an expense report to be paid back. That's how you can legitimize like fixing the last few years. It's easier if you just do it right from the beginning. And your bookkeeper is going to tell you that, your tax strategist, and I'm going to tell you that as your coach and mentor. You might have a credit card, and each company has a credit card. Now you have 5 sources of credit, 5 sources of fundability, 5 sources of just access to money, and you're very strategically spending. Like which of the 4 companies pays for your phone? Maybe each company has a phone. Be a little odd, but you might. Which company pays for the URL? Which company pays for the office? Which company pays for the vehicle? It's what's using it pays for it. So when you have those 5 sources, just spend it cleanly. Like literally carry them 5 cards around. Make sure they're like American Express where you have great points. You get 4X. 6X. There's very specialized, like American Express Hilton points. I have one of those. Every time I spend the night at Hilton, I get 6X the points. There's so much you can do when you use your credit card properly. Use it as an investment card. You can arbitrage it if it's a 0%. There's so many strategies to using cards properly. You've not been talked to. You've been totally lied to around how to do it. Back to the question, yes, you can use your personal card to pay business expenses as long as you write an expense report back to yourself and make sure the money transactions, again, the easier answer, have a credit card per company, just use credit cards. It's easy. Now your bookkeeper, your tax strategist can come in, look at how you're spending, what you're writing off, what you're personally writing off, sort out a forecast, and do better taxes. So all they really have to do is look at your spending credit card statements, your bank statements, and it gets really easy. Those of you who have a whole mess, and you're using a lot of cash, when you use cash for business, it's rough because is it your cash or is it the company's cash? Did you really pull it out of a company bank account or did you use your personal cash? So that gets messier, and the receipts and all of that gets messier too. So it's just simpler to use that, not commingle, keep it clean. And then let's go to the corporate structure. Yes, you have to. Even if you are a single member LLC, you have got to do corporate minutes. You need to have your company annual meetings. You need to actually do corporate resolutions where you say, no longer am I personally going to pay for my phone or my vehicle or my office or any of the things you're going to be writing off. I'm going to have them written off as a business expense. That's where we come in. We help make sure that you're actually using full 81,000 pages of code. You're fully getting corporate and credit card benefits and not commingling. Now, if you're enjoying this and you'd like your kids to get involved in this, because I'm a very aggressive parent about getting your kids credit cards, mainly for safety, 12, 13, 14 years old. Now you have several years to train them before you set them free at 18 when they can get as many cards as they want. And just a little data point, my son between 18 and 23 was solicited with over, I can't remember, 1,700 requests for credit cards. That's how much these kids are going to get pummeled being asked to fill out just basic credit card information. So you want to help them do it right from the beginning. So I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to click the notification button. I want you to be here 5 days a week and get your kids involved in this. I have so much content. If you go to my search bar up above and just put in proper credit card use, credit cards as investment cards, how do you use credit cards to get better corporate credit, fundability. So many of you that are beginners that are saying, I just can't get any money. I just can't get any advances on my credit card. It's because you're not doing it right. I have so much content here on the channel. If there is a topic that's not here, go to the comment section, put it in. We'll make sure that we get back out to you on a regular basis. All questions are answered though at askloral.com. So go to askloral.com, make a request, put in a question and say, I'd like to talk to somebody about how to actually clean up my spending. And you could say that and I know exactly what you're meaning. You're spending too much out of your personal account because your company's not making money. So what you do is you fund it, give it some money on a personal loan, or you just capitalize your company and you spend your money properly. So where are the bills paid tells you where the deduction is paid by, and given to you by the IRS. So stop commingling, set up the proper corporate structure. Ask our teams. We have great teams that will help you decide, depending on the state, depending on what you want to do, what kind of assets you want to buy, what your operating company it is. Should you be an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, limited partnership trust, which one? And when I'm done with you, you're probably going to have one of everything because I want you to grow very quickly into a millionaire or at least 100,000-aire and clean up your behavior around money. We'll talk tomorrow.